Hello and welcome to another very special edition of the Soccer Academy Euro 2024 television show and podcast. I'm Antonio Suave and I'm your host. This is another insert of the Euro 2024 Soccer Academy special, and we are featuring our first round wrap up today. Well, if this Euro 2024 tournament has taught us anything, it is that resilience and determination definitely pay off. What we have found is that some of the most unlikely of teams, namely squads such as Albania, Slovenia, Slovakia, Turkey, Austria, and Georgia, have had the determination to move forward. Equally, they have shown that grit, conviction, and determination are of utmost importance in tournaments of this nature. They are some of the underdogs, for sure, and these underdogs are inspirational in so many ways. We've got a lot to learn from them. Much like Morocco in the last World Cup or Iceland a few years back, these teams show that merely smaller populations and a lack of global superstars do not stop them from marching forward in a manner that is brave, valiant, and admirable on so many levels. With that in mind, we'll talk about one of the most significant upsets of these Euro Championships, Georgia over Portugal. Notwithstanding the great Cristiano Ronaldo, and I'm a fan, he seemed frustrated and angry throughout much of the match. Georgia proved to be the better side. And while Portugal had a better touch and greater possession of the ball, Georgia was brilliant in defending against Portugal as well as on the counterattack. Furthermore, Georgia's goalkeeper, Georgi Marmardashvili, was nothing short of brilliant in goal. To a degree, Portugal was deflated and demoralized, and this performance may affect its next game in the one-game knockout round of 16. Keep in mind, though, that Georgia was ranked 74th in the world, if you can believe it, prior to this tournament. Yes, it is awesome to be the underdog. Something else wonderful happened in the Portugal match. The referee gave a yellow card for diving, thanks be to God. This needs to happen more. It is an embarrassment for our players in the beautiful game of soccer to dive and to embellish. It is dishonest. Video replays show us just how distasteful diving is, and it needs to end soon. It will end if we continue to card players who intentionally dive and embellish. Let's now go to the so-called group of death, where Spain was not just the best team in the group, but it may be the best team in the tournament so far. For that, we'll go to the Italy versus Croatia game that looked all but sealed until the very last minute of play, when Mattia Zaccagni blasted home a brilliant shot on a one-timer while bending the ball around the Croatian goalkeeper. Now, if you know soccer, this is not an easy shot under any circumstances, let alone in the last minute of play, in extended time, that is, even past the 90-minute mark into stoppage time. Luka Modric had a good game, even though he missed a penalty shot. Redemption came soon thereafter, after he blasted one home, and he did blast it home. That seemed like it was it. Croatia would advance and Italy would most likely be going home. But it was not to be. Despite Italy's on-again, off-again play, Italy came through at the end. Call it a miracle, call it what you will, but it did happen. Before moving on, let's not forget that Spain advances to the round of 16 with its very own 16-year-old standout, Lamine Yamal. he has done exceedingly well on this major stage of football competition, and there may be more to come as Spain faces Georgia next. But don't expect a blowout. Georgia has shown that it cannot just survive, but it can thrive in this environment as well. Belgium, despite the dynamic duo of De Bruyne and Lukaku, has been unlucky at times in its failure to finish, but it has also seemed disjointed and unconvincing, even though it advances to the next round. Finishing or scoring is just a part of the game. So those who say possession is everything, unfortunately, it's untrue. Belgium has to face France next, with both teams struggling to dominate in the way that many had expected. Not even the great superstar Mbappe has been able to show his brilliance, despite the superhero mask he just wore to protect his nose, of course. Now, these are all great stars, mind you, from Mbappe to De Bruyne and from Ronaldo to Lukaku, and it's great to see them in a world tournament of this nature. But football, soccer that is, can provide different results when underdogs outperform even the best of them. Host country Germany, that has been playing and performing well, faces Denmark next. This, in my estimation, will be one of the toughest matches to date, along with the France-Belgium game, of course. Germany is strong with the likes of Jamal Musiala, Kai Havertz, and Niklas Füllkrug, a.k.a. Der Bomber, the Bomber. My belief is that Germany will advance, but it will be a hard-fought match, possibly going into overtime. Although tiny Slovakia has worked wonders in this tournament, it seems that England will come out on top of this match. I predict that England will advance. As mentioned, the France-Belgium game will probably be the hardest fought and contested match of the next round, generally a matchup that we're accustomed to seeing in a final round. I think, however, that France will beat Belgium in the end, unless, of course, De Bruyne and Lukaku mark up some serious goals. Otherwise, look for Mbappe to shed the mask, just possibly, and score in the next game. Not just one, but possibly two. We've already called the Spain-Georgia match, although I am rooting for the underdog to give Spain the match of their lives. Here, too, we may see a battle that leads into overtime if Georgia performs as it did in its last game. In terms of Portugal and Slovenia, I have Ronaldo scoring at least one, and I have Portugal advancing to the round of 8, although I really like the fight and the resolve of the Slovenians. Austria has done wonders in this Euro Championship, and I predict that they will advance over Turkey. Again, Turkey has been brilliant, but so has Austria. I see this going into overtime, if not penalty shots, at which point it's anyone's game. I'll also make this call. Italy will defeat Switzerland by a narrow margin, possibly in the final minute again. Switzerland has proven its strength on a grand stage now, but Italy seems to have just a little more firepower in the offensive third of the field. Then, while Romania has performed admirably, I see Holland advancing without a significant struggle. But you never know, especially the way that the lower-ranked teams have been playing in this tournament, i.e., Georgia at number 74. This could be one of the upset matches if Holland fails to bring its game together in this next round of 16. With that, we'll wrap it up for today. It's been a great Euro tournament so far, and there is much more to come. Remember, if you want to know more about the Soccer Academy television show, just log on to www.socceracademy.tv. That's socceracademy.tv. Thank you, and God bless your day.